Hello and good afternoon and welcome to another crafting stream. It's Wednesday, very hot outside. So we're going to continue off with the Putress remake of the neck armour. So we've this is what we've done. We've got we've just done the spikes on the top. We put the surround on there, and also we've got to basically put these spikes on the back. This is what we're going to do. So we're not going to have too big on that, we're going to have too small. So where the hell's my ruler? So mark white pen. I've got white pen now. I'm basically going to measure up where I want them. So 5 centimetres. We're going to do one universal template. So 5 centimetres. I should say possibly about 8 centimetres high, and then so there we are. So that's our template. I'm not going to basically go into like doing a complete a fresh bit of tracing paper. I use this this is what I've got here. So we're going to do, we've got to do 6 of these because I have to basically double layer them and basically do a lot of sanding down of these babies. So there's going to be 3 spikes poking out the back, but we want to actually double them. This is, 10 mil, and going to do some really sort of like clever sanding and then dremeling to actually get them to look badass. It's amazing. I've got Spotify on my tablet and the music source I've got from Adrian Wallace, right? So actually they've got like Spotify now playing in the top left hand corner. And that was like taking some setting out. I'm getting quite like this sort of Twitch TV sort of OBS setting up. I'm still a sort of beginner, but you learn it, you know, you learn as you go along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that's taking tight. All the time when I was doing delivery driving, and I was in this Mercedes van, right, and it was like 2010 plate, and it didn't have the aircon. Boy, was it hot! You know, I was getting so dehydrated. Right, that's going to be. Right, I'm always trying to actually clear up as I go along my any excess foam. I basically chuck away in the bin. So we've got. So we got them all. Okay. Yeah, we got them all. So we've got 6 of them now. So we've got 6 of these. So we need to glue these together. Don't forget, I'm still new to this cosplay. I've only been doing this for 2018, so 2017, the end of 2017. Basically, been a real sort of like learning the hard way. Practice makes perfect. And I'm basically doing these new neck armour and secondary holders for putress, right? Because I wasn't happy with the other ones. So basically, decided to make a new fresh one. I mean, I've got all the time in the world anyway, so. And this high density foam, it is a godsend having. Seriously, it's a real godsend in the sense that it just, when you cut it, you don't sort of like, you know, have flaky bits fall off and having to basically try and sand it down. So what we're doing is just going to basically cross hatch each one. So basically that's going to go, so there's the cross hatch there, and that's going to go like that. And then basically we'll put them onto the belt sander, sandwiched together. So we're going to basically literally flatten them, right, if we need to. So they're going to go. So they are going to go there, there, there. So that we've got them. So we're basically going to literally do a little bit, loads of like dremeling on this. And first of all, we start off with the belt sander to get flat and sort of like equilateral. And then we basically go for like the sort of tiny details I put in. Let's just basically keep these up. So there we go. So what happens is it's opening up those knife marks within. It's basically going to have a real strong bond for the contact adhesive. do the rest of it. It's a shame to get rid of all these offcuts. They're becoming useful, especially when you're doing like small detail. You don't want to go through like the whole sort of like sheet and stuff. Hello, alive to be made. Good afternoon, young lady. Sorry, good afternoon. It's about just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. How are you? No problem. You go and dye your hair. So there you go. So we've got our triangles. Okay. So we've got 6 triangles. So what we're doing is we've got our back plate, and these are going to be glued together, right? And then they're going to basically go there, there, and there. So let's go with the gluing, right? So you can use contact adhesive, you can use hot glue, but I'm using the contact adhesive because it's a lot more messier than hot glue. Okay, right. What we're doing is a life to be made. We are remaking. Where are we? Hang on. There's putress. We are remaking this back plate here. It's going to have secondary polders. This is for my putress undead warlock cosplay. So we're remaking this breastplate. So this back plate that goes there, and then we've already made them. So we've got these. These are the secondary pauldrons, right? Which are going to go on the main pauldrons that I've already made. I just basically put the camera up. So that's the main pauldrons we've done already. It's all been painted. I just got to put the LEDs down here. So there you go. So that's like the main pauldrons for putress. So they've got to basically go underneath there and then clipped into there, so they hang onto my shoulders. That's taken me 4 weeks to make that. Then over here we've got the skull belt that's hanging on the wall because it's easier for me to paint. But just put that down here. So there's the skull belt. So there's the skull belt. It's got fluorescent paint in it and glow in the dark paint onto the skull. So why do you need one in real life? Then over here, that's all the Deathwind stuff, all set out. That's all the Deathwind stuff, all done. And then what we've done is as well, we've got a plague grenade, which has got an LED in it. So that's like a sort of, that's going to hang on the belt. And then I've got the braces, the bony braces, which have been refurbished. And then in here, thank you. I'll just try my best. As soon as my dad's estate basically, sort out the dad's estate with the solicitor to get the money, I'm going to refurbish this garage and gut it out and make it into a proper home studio, because I don't think I can actually stand another winter in this place, right? It gets freezing cold in here. It gets freezing cold, but the thing is, I've only got like a halogen heater. That's going to be about $3,500. Sorry, £3,500 to get this completely. Trouble is, I've got a bit of a health hazard here, and I don't dare touch it. I've got an asbestos roof. Just as long as I don't disturb the roof by drilling into it, I'll be okay. But I mean, the windows are rotten. This is like 1970s concrete bolted together garage. I did actually look to go and get a modular unit from Germany, right? Planning permission not required. It's a modular unit made out of like made out of steel frame with double glazed windows, all the electrics, even like connected up to the house for the main supply and also the network connection. That's going to be about £12,500. So it's like, I'm having to run a cable all the way from the house. I'm sure I can get this done. It's a specialist company called My Garage Makeover in just about 3 miles from where I live. That does garage makeovers, and they do amazing jobs on like old record garages like this one, and convert it into a home studio. Next door neighbour's got one. He's got like a home studio or home office. So what we're going to do is go and get a glue spreader. I've had a bit of a reorganisation here. We'd like to go and get 2 new tables, right? 2 like work tables from Amazon. They're about 50 quid each. And basically joined them together. So I basically got like 1, 2, 3 cameras. Exactly. Well, I could do this. I've actually got a spare room in the house, right? So it's got my other computer in it, where I play World of Warcraft or Overwatch. But I don't really sort of like, especially if I've got the belt sander, which is over. This is the belt sander, right? That chucks out a lot of shit. I have to wear a dust mask, right? That's about £80 I bought for that. And that basically does all the mass foam. They've got a mannequin up there. So they've got another desk over there. So it's a bit of a mess at the moment. And then on this here, by the Forsaken banner, it's all my paint stuff. I've had a good old organisation. There we are. There's the braces for. That's the braces for Deathwing with a single LED in them. That's 3 days' work I did on that. And I made these. I made these. These are like go on the upper arm. So you got pauldrons, upper arm braces. This shit. So there you go, that's what it looks like. Now this is made out, this is foam, 10mm foam, but I've been using, right, I'm not sort of sponsored by them. This stuff, Flexi Paint, you don't need a primer. You just paint it on, and it comes out that nice glossy shine if you do it with the brush. They're all comfortable, yeah. It's only 5mm foam. All of these individual items have been that's 5mm foam, and this is basically been sculptured with a hot air gun, glued on, and then basically silvered up. And then this bit here, you can just see this texture. That's done with a wood burning tool. The same if you look at the Deathwing breastplate. That's basically done the same thing. That is a week's work. This is. It's a remade stuff using the same paint, all done with flexi paint. These are the putress gloves, been refurbished. Right, bandages been soaked in flexi paint. I've got some stuff here for like the legs, been soaked in flexi paint and sort of left to dry. I've also got these are the boots. These are the Forsaken boots, all been refurbished. There you go. So I love showing my stuff off. There you go. Such a big head I am. As I said, I've got a photo shoot coming up on very soon. As soon as I can get the robe done, and if I can see it, it's not a very good photograph because I must have not had the. I've got too much lens flare, so you might be able to see it. So that's the church I'm basically going to be photographing. It's an old ruined church. Right, now where was I? So hang on. So basically you've basically got this contact adhesive. You just basically spread it on like that. Just a little drop there. Get your either a bit of old foam, just spread it on like butter, and just leave that to go off. And then once you glue these together, it's better than hot glue because it doesn't leave nasty marks everywhere. You have to get them off when it's still wet with white spirit. So now that's basically going dry. So all you have to do is So what colour hair are you going to be dyeing it? So there you go. So that's basically stuck. So we leave that to dry. And we've got to do a bit more work on the belt sander. We've got to basically sand that down to flat. Then we also got we've got some buttons, little bolts there we've got to put on. Right, they're going to be done in Instamalt. And then I've got some I've got these foam Toblerones. Oh, very nice. That's a nice colour. We've got these Toblerones, right, and we're going to basically level them into spikes, so they go on there. Then we're going to have a chain, we're going to make out of foam, which is warbler, to hang on there. We've almost what we've done with the lid to the Forsaken banner. This is got a chain there. We made out of foam and warbler. So there you go. Flexi paint's the best one to use, unless you want to go through the whole hassle of actually spraying it with a grey primer and then basically painted it with acrylic or whatever. But flexi paint's the best stuff. I mean, I was recommended by it, and it's basically done me proud. And also, contact adhesive is the best one. So I'm very fussy with attention to detail. I'm like this with my. I'm like this with my paintings. So this is my I've got all my paintings I do is actually, it's on my Instagram. That's all my paintings I've done. I actually took a photograph of them. And these paintings, right, they take about, of course I do. I usually spend about 2 hours in the pub sketching and about 3 weeks painting. Yeah, I do. That's when I first started out painting. Painting first, doing like sort of sketches and basically putting the portfolios together. And I basically decided to go from there. This is the other thing I do. This is my custom skateboard I made. It's the Death Knight Apocalypse one from the Artifact weapon. It needs a bit of So he's got lights in there. So it's a bit, sorry, it's a bit dusty. So that's a custom skateboard. Right, and I made a few custom skateboards, Overwatch ones. I've got another one I got playing, a Sylvanas Windrunner with the Death Whisper spoke. It's been made out of foam with warbler. Basically, got like a 9-volt battery there, and of course LEDs. This is my custom. Someone tried to buy that off me. I said no, it's not for sale. It's one of its kind. So what happens is, you did so all it is you get like a Blake skateboard. This is like a maple one. You sand it all down. You can either get the design to be laser engraved, or I hand paint the whole lot if I sand this down. So that's my next one, Sylvana's Windrunner one coming soon. So there you go. So I still paint. It's just what I've decided is like about 2017, I thought, sod it. I said, sod it. I'm going to basically have a go at cosplay. And I basically said, what the fuck do I do? I'm not going to go as like a Marvel character, a Thor, or anything like that. I thought, sod it. Let's go as a World of Warcraft character. So this has been painted with flexi paint, and this has basically been silvered with flexi paint, and then this is done with a fluorescent paint I've got, and I had to go and get like a violet, a deep violet and a purple to actually get these like ica channels, and then just sort of touched up inside these green bits. Got this from the DIY shop. Glow in the dark paint, green. So there you go. Silverleaf. Ooh, no, not really, to be honest. I mean, you're very good. I love your stuff. Definitely, your stuff is amazing. Very, you know, that Victorian style. It's amazing. You make dolls' houses, the works. you know, you do a good job. You know, you got my respect. So, with like the putress, hang on one thing. Right, this is the mask. So you can imagine with the robe on it. I can see, yeah, but it's better than like the other one I did before. So this is like a normal helm. It's actually been disguised to look like sort of decrepit, forsaken skin and all that. And then it's basically the mask is like made out of foam and warbler. They basically got like a silver chrome paint to actually get the bony bits. So there you go. That took me. That's about 2 days' work. This is what I've been doing all lockdown time. The only time I went to town was last week on my birthday, last Wednesday. I ended up basically going to the art shop and spend about £90 on paints and new brushes. And of course, to go to a pub, you have to book up. And because what's happened is, because my mum's on her own, she's 88, right? The house is quite big because, like, you know, they've been lived here for 50 years, and I've been looking after the garden. So all the garden's been landscaped, you know, by me. The house is all tidy. I'm just trying to get some valuations of the houses from the solicitor, so I can actually, so my mum will be quizzed in. I mean, she just sits there nicking my diet coats and whatnot. I mean, I don't mind it. You know, she doesn't go out. You know, I drive the car down to the supermarket or walk down. That's about it. So I haven't been able to get out. And I want to get out. You know, you get cabin fever. And I can't start at the Warner Brothers Studios until they basically come up with some sort of social distancing solution, because there's usually about 30 or 40 people on location up there, because the studio's only about 4 miles from where I live, and and of course, if they're working on sort of some major film, I mean, for example, the last one we had to be pulled off, we had to basically stop work, was on Mortal Kombat. And I mean, I don't mind it, I mean, I'm actually getting a small, I have got some money come in, but that's very little. That's on all of my paintings are on like t-shirts, coffee mugs, pillows through redbubble.com. It's making me some money, and of course my mum's paying me to actually to get shopping for her. She gave me, instead of giving me like sort of excess amount of money for my birthday, I ended up actually getting quite a lot from her. I used to think that Twitch was like, to me, was very underutilised in the sense that I was just using it for gaming, and I thought, sod it, I'm going to have a basically do crafting streams. I've been doing this ever since March, since lockdown, so I've done a hell of a lot at the moment, and I've basically got one more criteria till I get affiliations. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the belt sander. Now, it's going to be fucking messy, so don't do what I do. And I've had accidents in the past with the belt sander. I actually literally nearly took me skin off my fingers, and also got hot air gun burns. For like the hot air guns here, and I've actually basically gone straight on there and basically like left like sort of burn marks. So you get like hot glue burn marks, warbler burn marks, and like exploding Dremel barrels. That's why I basically have to basically keep safe when I'm actually crafting, so I basically don't have a nasty accident. A Dremel barrel explodes off it while you're basically at high speed and wallop straight in your eye. So you basically got to wear gloves, goggles, the works. Now, yeah, thank you. I'm enjoying this. Right, we're just going to move a camera over to, hang on, what camera are we going to move to? To the belt sander. Woo! Bye! I look forward to seeing your purple hair colour. It should be amazing. Right, so to the belt sander. And we cut our triangle. Like this, very gently, like nice feathers. So there you go. We've got some finished spikes. Detail is always important to me. Trouble is, what will happen is, someone asked me to decorate their house, right? I ended up basically doing a painting of Sylvana's Windrunner on their main wall or something. I did get a commission many moons ago for a Star Wars painting, Force Awakens. It was like one with the Millennium Falcon sort of being chased by two TIE fighters out of a Raptor they downed Star Destroyer, right? Of like when they actually met up with Rey, right? And that was £600, right? And that was in someone's playroom. Trouble is, I was lumbered. I had to buy some like very big pots of acrylic paint to do it, and they supplied the canvas and basically got it, put it up, and I had to basically go into this playroom. It was in Hampstead. It's a real posh house, and I wanted to work through like I wanted to keep working. Trouble is, a Filipino housekeeper kept on basically making me sandwiches and wanted me to. You got to eat, Mr. Andy. Right, because I wanted to get it. Of course, I was going to give the clients' kids like the acrylic paint. They didn't want them, so I ended up basically taking them. I didn't want them because there's quite a lot. But I had to basically buy them, and I ended up basically taking them to the local primary school to donate to the kids there. And they were welcome to it. You know, I wasn't going to basically chuck it away. So anything I have to buy in, I end up basically doing. End up either donating them to like a nursery or something like that, you know, because I don't want to sort of use it because I won't be used. Because I'm, used to like the small bits, but it was actually bought for the job. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some very small dremeling with this. Now we're going to do some very small dremelings with this. So what we've done is we've actually got it sorry, let's put this camera here. So we got the Dremel already got like a very small sanded barrel. Now these I bought from Amazon, and they're not really like the proper Dremel ones because I can find a bloody. Now where is my goggles? Now I have to put these goggles on because these have a tendency to explode, you know, and if you don't have any goggles on them, you know, you're going to basically have a nasty accident. So here we go. This is going to be a bit noisy. So we're going to go to modify the detail. See, this foam here is like, you've got two different types. You've got the CF100, which is like the very high density one, right? And the beauty about this foam, it actually is really easy to cut, particularly with a standing knot wall. Okay, you probably say box knife, you say Stanley, because apparently Stanley actually make it. So look how it cuts like easy. If you've got like the other stuff, like CF400, that, or the CF65, that is very sort of that cut through it, but you're going to have like these little bubbles. You're going to have to basically do a lot of like a sort of heating up to actually seal. We're heating these up so it actually seals the pores. So that's why we're doing it. You actually seal the pores, right, and you can actually prime it. But because we're using like flexi padding, that's like a top coat primer. You don't need to actually put like a spray on primer. And what's more, because it will bend, because like armour will bend, normal primer will just pop off the crack, so you get a nasty crack. This doesn't. So we're going to heat the end of it, but we're not going to actually burn it. Right? And with this stuff, you can actually, there we are. We've got like a very sort of like spike there now. So we're just going to heat up the tip of it very gently. Now, with spikes, you can actually use a rod. A bit like a this Toblerone. I've had actually of that EVA rod, I think. Excuse me. And you can actually like basically make it to spike, or you can actually get pre-made spikes. So there you go. So they're done. D-O-N-E. So what we've done here, we've already put like reason why there's all these like cross hatching on the. You probably can't see it. So hang on, I'll move one of these cameras over here in front of the laptop actually. Okay, fuck. I haven't got a move. Right, okay, right. So this is going to be perched on the edge of this desk here. Sorry about this. So what it is, we've done the. I'm just going to take this hot air gun out and put it on the floor like so. So what we've done here, we cross-hatched this. Just basically try and get you to see what we're doing. Now, someone from America, right? Someone from America have actually done this. Right, it actually basically cross-hatched this to reason being it will basically keep the bond. It will actually bond the glue a bit more, right? So we have to do the same to like for this edge here. So box knife or standing knife, as we call it, depending how you look at this. Then just going to get the hot air gun to the edge. Now we're going to have to leave that to cool for a bit because the glue will just basically rapidly dry. So they would just cross-hatch it there, and that basically gives a real good bond. So that's going to go there. But the thing is, you might have to basically curve it a bit on this here because this is like 2 thickness of EVA foam being sanded onto the belt sander. Then it's been contact adhesive together. Then this here. This here is the actual template for it that we had to cut out into a thin sheet to actually bevel it, basically get that sort of like 3-dimensional effect. So we've done that one. We're going to do the rest of them. We might as well do them all at once. You know. And the belt sander is a real godsend because if I've got a lot of say I've got 2 more big builds to do, right? Within up to the end of the year. One's Chromatus, which is going to be like a 5-headed dragon cosplay from a World of Warcraft novel, and that's basically there's no such design concept, only like the actual 5-headed dragon for the book illustration. So that's going to be put into a human form, and I've actually basically designed that. I actually sketched it out in the pub, and I love chilling out in the pub with the sketchbook, so I end up actually sometimes getting free drinks, or get some young lady going, "Wow, that's amazing." Or sometimes go to my friend, go and meet my comic book artist friend down the local coffee shop. Right, he's basically working on like a 300-page graphic novel at the moment, but he hasn't got a publisher at the moment. That's the only thing I respect him for that. He does a sterling, excellent job of of his illustrations. Does everything by hand with self-propelled pencils, and then basically takes. You only go to the coffee shop to actually save electricity. A nice guy is actually. He's most respect. He's got my utmost respect. So we're going to basically spread the glue over that crosshatch here and do the same through this. Now, contact adhesive is usually used by carpet installers. A friend of mine who does walnut veneer restoration on classic cars such as the Rolls Royces, Jaguars, right? He basically gets the veneer ordered and puts it onto the dashboard, puts it onto the hardwood surround for like the speedometers and all that, and it literally contacts. It's easy, like the polished veneer panel on it. Right, he does a complete job for restoration. I mean, he does like Jaguar Mark IIs, right, which have all got like full blown walnut dashboard from like sort of like the little windowsill, the door cappings, the works. You know, you don't see that on cars at the moment. You only see it on like the top end Bentleys and rollers. And what happens is, like the Americans have actually tried to, the Cadillac tried to copy it on their sort of like their top end car. And, well, you know, I don't mind walnut and leather. You know, everyone says it's a bit old schoolish. You know. I went to Goodwood on a factory visit and actually showed you like they use solid wood, polished up to like a bit like old walnut furniture or oak. It's all highly polished, French polishing. You know, that's why you spend a fortune on like Rolls Royces. You know, that's why they're so high class. High, pricey, so. So I need a fag. But you see, the thing is, I'm not basically sitting at home on my computer all frigging day. I'm sorry, but you know, because over the probably next year, there's going to be like a massive big load of like epic cosplays coming out of like both throughout the world. You know, mostly in the US, like because you know, I'm jealous of all the people I know who go to BlizzCon or go to like the the San Diego Comic Con or like the one in Houston, the one in New York, and basically see the epic cosplays they do. You know, I'm jealous a bit. We only got two like main ones. It's like the MCN London and twice a year, but now that will stay there. I mean, the biggest mistake I did last time is actually burn out a recess in here with the wood burning tool and try and glue it straight in, which it didn't fit. I didn't measure it properly, so I'm basically doing a proper job this time. Probably saying, what a fussy sod you are. Oh, yeah. There is a future broadcast once I get the Deathwind is finished. Okay, putress is like basically literally remaking this and basically a little bit more touching up, painting, get the whole lot together, and basically refurbish the road because that needs a lot of attention. That needs to be repainted into like a darker colour. Get rid of that gold. So we've got a lot to do, but we actually got 2 more cosplays coming up. Both from scratch. See all of the stuff on Deathwing, right? Every single bit of like putress armour done, everything like that has actually been using tracing paper to actually mark it all out, cut it all out, trace it onto the foam, cut it, Dremel it, and basically glue it on. You know, so there hasn't been. Right, so there you go. So they're done. So that's done. That's that complete. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to have to basically take this off here. Now I've got my silicone mat here. I just have to move all this. I'll put this up here. I think I've actually got a little bit more paint to do, and I'm not sure. Right, so sorry, I've been on such a, I've had such a messy desk, to be honest. So, what we're going to do now is, I've got to do some instant morph. So, I might have to actually cast a bit more. So we've got our silicon cupcake holder. Okay, and we've got our instant morph, right? Now, this is like all the beads. It's been cast already. It's a remnant from like when I did some putress stuff on Deathwing. And I'm not going to basically waste it and chuck it. I basically try and recycle everything as best I could. I'm not, you know, materials cost money. I mean, I've got enough foam in here to actually make a few more breastplates. Right, so hot air gun. I'm going to melt this here. Now the reason why I've got a silicon mat is because it's flame proof. It's the sort of mat you use for actually rolling out flour for cakes. Right, so we've heated that up. What we're going to do, we don't want to touch this now because this stuff is like liquid, like sort of like molten treacle. So basically, we're going to literally cool that down, right, and then basically prise it out of here. It's still a little bit warm, but we'll probably have to cast more on this. So what I'm going to do is we've got it into a ball. I'm just going to literally mould like a sort of a very small dome shape, or like a dome shape like that. Okay. Now you could do with anything to that. What I've done in the past, particularly on this stuff, is actually on Deathwing's mace, right? I actually basically burnt some channels into like the foam with the wall glue and actually literally sort of welded this on, not glued it on. Now, I'm going to make another one. Probably make 3 of these. So there you go. We've done that, so that can actually be left to cool down. Now we're going to get some more of this baby, this stuff, and get my beads. So we've got our an old soap powder dispenser, because like you don't want to be like trying to actually pour it out, or things like this stuff, pain in the arse to pick up. So I just spilt some on the mat. So that's the beads. Now this is polymorph, it's called, right? From Coscraft, right? A UK based material cosplay materials company. They do wigs and everything like that. They the one. When I first told them I wanted to cosplay, they actually helped me out tremendously in like what materials I needed. You know, I think the first time I did putress back in 2017, I ended up basically doing the whole of the pauldrons like cladded in warbler. And boy, were they heavy! Jesus, never again. Having a costume on for like full blood for a whole day at a Comic Con, like doesn't, you know, completely knackers you, to be honest. So we measured that. We're going. I will need this will be used. Don't worry, it's not going to go to waste. So that's basically going off at the moment. But before I even do anything to it, I mean, it's still, I can actually mould that into. I can actually mould that into like a sort of a dome shape like that, because that's going to go on there. But we need to actually recess this in a bit and put some. If this was covered in warbler, right, we could actually weld it to the warbler. It will stay. It will just. It won't pop off. Another example of using Instamorph is on here. This bit, sorry. This bit is actually done in. This is done with Instamorph. So we actually burnt a channel in here. We actually welded it onto there. And that's basically been painted in a neutral grey, followed by a silver, and then a chrome. Put some chrome. It's got that nice shine to it, like so. So that's how we've done it on that one. So what we're going to do is just going to mop that up with take that rest of that water out. Now I've got two different types of this bees. I've got the clear stuff and also got the opaly stuff. We're going to basically mop up that water in there. I don't need it until I cool it down again. Now I've used this stuff to make like sort of lenses in the past, right, by putting some artist ink in it. You know, a few drops of like acrylic artist ink, and you can actually stain. You can get a pigment. Or the other one, if you're making like sheet lenses out of warbler, transparent warbler sheets, right? I use a poly dye, which I've done for Death Week and also for the plot I did. So there's our bees in there. Now we're going to put it on a very low heat, and actually they'll start going clear. And basically, once it's basically being cooled down, it will go back to its opaly stage. Now, before we even paint these, we're going to basically sand these down a bit to actually get a key for like the gunmetal paint to actually stick to it, because I forever had to overpaint it. I mean, these spikes here for the polders, they're done with the same material. I've seen some epic cosplays built for like people's coffee tables, people's spare their bedrooms, even like their room at the halls of residence when they're at uni. I mean, this garage was actually just like basically collecting junk, and I decided to clear it all out, take it to the tip, and basically write, you know, something to utilise. Of course, if you convert your garage into a hobbies room, right? If it's not connected to the house, like physically, like some houses are, right? The value of your house, if you want to sell it, goes up, but it needs another 10,000 because you've got that extra bit of studio space. So, you know, common sense in it basically not puts the value of your property to go up. I'm thinking the long term here. However, if I didn't have this luxury of actually like living in my own flat or something like that, I would actually gone to the shared workspace. That's £25 a month. You know, that's a donut. That's an actual charity. And that's going to basically gently heat these. If I put this on full blast, this is going to basically going to, you know, spray everywhere. So I'm going to basically gently. I had to go and get a new hot air gun on Amazon because the other one decided to actually die. That's what happens is I've gone through ever since I've done this, I've gone through about 3 hot air guns. You know, because they're not being dropped or broken, it just basically they're like a workhorse. You know, this hot glue gun, right, and a Dremel are your best friend on this sort of like making this. Now, okay, so what's happened is we've got these thing where it basically like starts going clear at the top of it. That's created like a sort of a pie crust. So a little bit of water in there because I don't particularly want to sort of like scald my fingers. Now I'm going to get this old bit of metal and just basically literally basically prise it off there, and then a little bit more. Don't worry, I won't be wasting this. This is basically used for another purpose. I'm going to actually take every bit of shit off here. Right, now what we're going to do, prise it out, so I'm actually basically literally now a friend of mine, she actually made some jewels for Sally Whitemane for braces, right? Sort of like red jewels. She actually got her a red Sharpie pen, right, on the clear beads, and literally dabbed them with the red Sharpie pen, hot air, melted them, right, with a hot air gun, and as soon as you basically able to basically mould them into like a jewel with a single LED behind it. And the community's been great, you know, on the cosplay side, right? They've helped me out. Basically, I like so much positive vibes from this. There's no toxicity or bitchiness about them. You know, if you do so, you know, if you ask a question, you basically will come up with an answer. Or either that, I just basically go onto YouTube and find a solution there. With the putress LEDs, they're going to be digital ones, programmed through Arduino. So I might even do a stream on that where I actually have to use a laptop to actually program it, and basically have my mobile phone on a stream it from my mobile. I think that's going to be in the future. So I've got to go and put the lenses in first, and go and put the LEDs, get the LEDs all wired up. You know, get the LEDs wired up, and then once I've basically done that, plug it into the wire up the kit, motherboard, and basically get it all programmed. Basically, so it's like sort of like a purple strobe. So when I first did it, I just put some string lights I got from Amazon on, like based on those button batteries. It worked. It looked effective. If this was lenses I'll be making here, I'll be have to go really easy on the hot air gun because it does tend to scorch. It will show through, but because I'm actually using this to actually make sort of detailing on here, and it's going to be painted. I'm not trying to say I'm covering it up, but so they can get. And I can actually get this bit here and actually add to it, so I maybe got like a little bit more in proportion, because this stuff is now, because I basically put it into cool water, it's actually going off now. So I'm actually molding it onto there and go into like this on here. And if you actually get it, it's almost as identical. I might have to actually reheat this again, just so I can get rid of the. My next door neighbour gave me this silicone cupcake holder. She didn't want it. I'm not going to get rid of that step ladder because I need it to actually install a security light at the back of the house. Except when the first security light, what's happened is, the first security light went pop. Allegedly, I thought it was a new fuse in the circuit, but it's a new fuse, but it wasn't. It was like you opened up the socket and basically like powers the light. Found out like one of the wires had come loose, so I've got my electrician screwdriver. Basically, I'm going to take the fuse out from like the upstairs power sockets. Basically, pull it out, get it all connected up. I've got a new LED light. Just make it take a little bit off there. I want to make sure I've almost got these same size. I remember last year I was up at the Comic Con and I had to go to the hotel. I basically got up, right, put half my costume on for Putress to go down for breakfast, the robe and everything like that, and I left the banner, the Forsaken banner, which is behind me. And then after that, I basically got full dressed in full blown Putress, and that basically goes from the hotel to the Docklands Light Railway. Get on there, and it was like, got to Canning Town, and like the whole of the DLR train was like a couple of stops away from like the XL, was actually all cosplayers. And then suddenly you want to actually take a rest, take a break, and get yourself composed. Because I was really early because I had like priority entry into like the Comic Con, and you get stopped by people wanting to take photographs. When you're about half in costume and half look like basically civilian. I mean, I'm not going to take the piss off, but I thought, there's an etiquette on that. So just go back and do a simple moulding of this. So if you get rid of this, like, you've still got some beads there showing. We're going to reheat this again. All those beads that they have been melted will go pop. And then I can't touch that, so they can spray on the water. That's why I've got silicone mat here. Spray that. Yeah, I make like some sort of little cones out of this. I could actually use like some. I mean, I don't have any like EVA foam rod anymore. I don't think so. I have to look through my sort of bin. I've got like one of these old bins that you used to basically put your shopping in, or sorry, for recycling. And I just basically won't go be chucked out sort of solid. I use it from here. So that's the that's some stuff we can use next time. I'm just going to leave that there. Back in a minute. I'll just go get a bite to eat. Be right back. Go to the house. Hello, Ivan Terrick. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. And we're back. I had to go up to the house just so I get a quick bite. Continue working. So, spike's done. Right, just got these like little buttons to go in there. There, we've got 3 of them cast, and we've got to leave those to cool down. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to put that over there so it basically got out of the way. Now I'm back, so sorry about it. I had to go up to the house. I just had to go and get a quick bakewell cake. So what we're going to do next is find out how can I put them. So I'm going back to the belt sander. I need to actually put these into the spikes. To the belt sander. Come on, everybody, to the belt sander. Okay, off we go. So we're going to put these, make these into spikes. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to hunt around for my 30mm EVA foam rod. Let's go. Let's see if this works. Well, I've got the glove, I've got the mask, I've got the goggles. Let's chuck that up, put it up front. Maybe I've done a little turn this. Okay. Right, okay, we're back. Just I got the belt sander. So from that shape, we've actually made to make some spikes. So all we need to do is give them the heat over. Put that camera over there. So how is everybody? If anybody's like watching me, hope you're all well. Right, basically gently heat these. And just a little bit more heat onto there, like so. Bingo. The same for this, trying to basically land itself in the bloody water. Shit. Okay. So there you go, we've got 2 spikes now loaded up. So that's basically what we cast in Instamorph material. That's basically like a ball of it I do need, and that's one I basically do it. So these are basically like basically now going back to their inert state. So they need to actually be put on. So I'm not basically going to start rushing and basically put them on when they're still going solid. So with these now, I just got to go and get the Dremel. Do a bit like tiny detailing sailing, not too much. Perfect. So we're going to get the box knife again, or standing knife, and just basically score that. Now we're going to basically have it in line with there. So I'm just going to basically do a mark with the so where that mark is, I need to actually do some standing knife cuts here, because the cross hatching I'm doing on here actually literally bonds the contact adhesive well you know, it gives you a strong bond. But all you need to do now is actually get the end of the spike away, and then just open up the crack, the line. And then do the same thing on here. So that's one. And just going to basically do this as a point of reference to us. Stay there, shut up. Not you, just telling your hot air gun to behave itself. So we got that one. Now, contact adhesive, glue spreader, just a dollop of this, not too much. You know, you can use hot glue for this, but I prefer to use this because it's a lot more less messy. Because I've seen some people basically do amazing cosplay builds, braces and all that, and basically literally not a blemish on them, but there's like one thing that's basically outstanding. That's a hot glue mark. That's basically like got to have a lot of thin layer of this stuff. Just going to leave that to do its magic. So the setup here we've got at the moment, we've got webcam 1, 2, one behind it, and also the webcam on the laptop. So we've got a multi-camera crafting stream here, so you can actually see it at every angle. So that basically goes on like that, like so. I always say to people at my work at this place, please respect our finished work. We spent ages doing this, and having somebody turn up in basically like 5 minutes and suddenly wrecks it, basically I would not be happy. You know, that's why when you go to a Comic Con, you don't touch cosplayers' armour. They spent ages trying to get this done, the painting, the crafting, the painting, and they don't like it. You know, they basically like respect that totally. Leave that against there. I've done a sort of, that's foam. You know, I've got to put, if I put warble on that, and I have to wear that like at the neck. You know, it's a neck armour. Like that would be bloody heavy. And the new armour I've made is like a lot more lighter. It's like just pure foam. Practice makes perfect. Remember, this is a how-to, not a tutorial. You give me another year or so, I will actually basically do a tutorial, you know. And you don't want to be basically putting too much in this contact adhesive, because it doesn't like, you know, it basically needs to be touch dry, both, you know, both surfaces, and then basically bond it. Hot glue's okay, but it has a tendency to deteriorate, you know, particularly if you haven't spread it properly. That's me, a lesson learned. Basically, don't be rushing to hot glue, because basically simply just glue, it just basically like has a congealed mess, and after a while it just basically breaks away. Sometimes when I go to a Comic Con, I just don't want my cosplay, right, to go out to craft room, because I know I've actually got stuff to repair it straight away. If you're out like Comic Con, something breaks off, you know, you haven't got a hot gun, you haven't got a hot glue gun. You know what you're going to do. I mean, luckily they do cosplay repair stations, which you only use once to actually repair something. That's just basically some hot glue and something basically stuck. So next time, my cosplay handler is going to carry the bottle of this contact adhesive in this squeeze bottle. So that's done. D-O-N-E. Now with these, I'm going to have to. You have to glue these into place. Okay, but because this is not foam, this is warbler beads. I'm going to have to go and get a. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I've got some 600mm paper here. I'm just going to literally. Rough this up a bit. So I might even have to maybe go to another one, like a 180 probably. If I can fish that out. I'll sandpaper it. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is just literally, it's an easy way to actually paint this as a key, but this is going to be silver. I might paint this as a neutral grey first, so it like lightens up the silver a bit more. Trouble is, if you use a Dremel against it to sand this away, it starts making you get warming up and basically start melting. You don't want that to happen. So we've already marked out the crosses on here. So I'm going to literally basically put a little nip in that cross there. You know, I can try and basically cut into this. It's not going to work. It might do. I've just got the hot air gun to that cross there. I was actually going to wood burners and recess them in there. I might even do that actually. I've got to be careful with burning on it. Tell you what, I'm going to use a wood burning tool. I love using that bit of kit. Soldering iron. So I'm looking for my wood burning tool. That's the soldering iron. Actually, I can use that. So I can actually clean up the blade and actually do some LED soldering. So I've got the. So keep these out of the way. So what we're going to do, once this is basically heating up, we're going to see if I can find my wood burning tool. That's a soldering. I've got two soldering irons and one wood burning tool. I've got a fourth wood burning tool coming up, which is like quite a bit of nice bit of kit. It's like a very portable one. And that's not due to arrive until next week. Soldering iron. Ah, here we are. It's hanging under hanging by my finished armour. So that's better. That's the better one. Keep that hot air gun out of the way. So, what we're going to do, we're going to be very carefully. That's not ready yet. We're going, once that's basically warm up, we're going to basically literally burn a circle in that to actually recess this in with contact adhesive. If it was like all warm, I would actually weld it direct to the water, but because this is like basically like putting Instamorph onto foam, that's not going to work until you basically put some contact on it. Just get that to warm up, guys. I'm not basically like but staying silent because I don't want to start rushing. And it's basically I started this yesterday. You see this remake. So that's basically cool. It's going to its like hot stage. Excellent. So I've got to be very careful with this wood burning tool so I don't literally damage any of the foam or burn it accidentally because it will basically come up like a sore thumb. Again, I'm a fussy sod. I'm just going to do a test fit, and that's perfect. I'm just going to leave that to cool down because I'm going to basically put some contact, drop some contact into there, and leave that to smooth. So this is Putress reformed into an ebon blade project. Now the design's all mine, but it's not. It's inspired by Zach Fisher, who works for Blizzard, does the ebon blade project. So if you can see some of his stuff on Patreon, then you know what I'm on about. This is dedicated to him. This is like inspired by him. And the only time I'll probably be able to get like an ebon blade project done is actually drop a lot of money into his Patreon to actually do it for me. And I will do. I just want to see how this basically works out. I'm always adventurous. Someone said to me, "Oh, you never do a cosplay." Fuck off, you red nose clown. I'm not taking shit like that. Just because this guy I know is bored as fuck and basically like all he does is like computers and World of Warcraft and work. That's about it. I'm watching football. So we've got the bolts on it. There's a little bit of it up there, and just basically literally spread it around. Take some of the excess off because otherwise you basically recess this in. It's going to make it spread out. I mean. Hot glue would be a bit of a nightmare because it'd be like loads of glue stains. There's a little bit on here. You just leave that to go tacky. Just leaving that to rest there. Glue it on. Basically, if I pull it the other way, it's just going to stick on there in the wrong place. Now I've already pre-marked the spots where like the bolts are going to go. Right, that'll stay there. So that's basically in. We're just going to leave. We're not going to move that around because that's got plenty of glue on it. And I don't want to sort of just glue it onto the surface because it has to be roughed up if I wanted to get a good bond. Of course, like this is basically warbler. It's so literally this will have to be roughened up to actually get the thing. The thing is, this has been hot air gunned, so thus I can actually put like the black flexi paint on it, so you get a nice glossy finish. And then basically do the silver and all that all around it, so you get this really forsakedy, ever-blading Death Knighty style. I picture it in your brain of what it's going to look like when it's all painted. You look at the like the pauldrons. You can just see what I'm trying to basically get. So there we are. Those pauldrons are very light. Let's hope they're not going to be wrecked on Comic Con. Now there's another way I could have done this. That's using epoxy sculpt or foam clay. Trouble is, I haven't got enough foam clay left to do that. I've used foam clay. I've used foam clay on the skull that I actually made for the pauldrons, right? Which basically fixed on there already. I basically knocked it all up, kept it in the house. During the winter, it was in the winter time I did it, and I left it in by my computer, and then that thing was solid as a rock, and I just glued it on. Just leave that to cool down and basically glue in it. Still tapping. What I'll do is basically go and get the see if that will fit. Yes, it fits. Now we're going to get some fuck. Hang on. Where am I? That's my Arduino kit temporarily. I decided to have like a setup like this, so thus far, let's get this 100, but get this 100 grade, 100, no, get this 100 grit wet and dry. Just sand it, rough this up a bit so I can get a really good key for the paint. Right, so now we're ready to actually dollop a bit of the I suppose we rough this up a bit. basically move move that down a bit there. So, where's the white pin? Got a white circle there, so there you go. I mean, don't worry about that cross I made because that's basically going to literally be painted over. So basically, wood burning tool literally burn off, burn through the layers. So you've got like a recess in there. So that's basically like touched right, so that goes in there. That needs a little bit more, I think. That's basically going off. That's cool. I'm going to keep that. I might basically aggravate it. Just basically sand this down a bit. I can't use my sand on the Dremel. This will just melt even at low speed. And what I'm going to do is just feel a good measure. I'm just going to burn a notch in here. Basically pour some glue on it, that's dry, so it can cool down. A little bit glue around the edge. Remember, when you're using contact adhesive, if you use it indoors, make sure you've got plenty of ventilation. This stuff like literally make you go, high as a kite. I mean, luckily I'm in my craft room. I've got the garage door open. I've basically got ventilation coming in. So there we are. That's the detail of it. So now, just going to like move stuff around a bit now. Just bear with me a second, folks. Right, now put that over there onto the other table. Now roll this out. Roll this silicone mat up. I will need it later. I'm basically going to use these offcuts and also get. Right, I've got a. Here we go. I'm going to use these offcuts. Hopefully this will work. So that's the secondary cauldrons. That's all rubbish. That's all rubbish. Bit of tracing paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some custom chains. Right, so white pen. So we're going to basically knock out some custom chains. So this is going to be like one pattern for all of like the whole ensemble. Divided this. So that's what we're going to do. That's the design. Scissors. I'll tell you what, I'd like to thank a very good cosplayer friend of mine who actually pointed in the direction of using tracing paper to actually mark out the detail you need on any bit of foam armour, but it's like breastplates, pauldrons, or any like, you know, anything like that. It's a real godsend, to be honest. Right, so there we are. So that's the what we've got as a template now. Hopefully this will basically be big enough, and it's not. Right. Okay, let's put these in the. I've got a little. Oh, here we are. We've got this bin here, which is basically people used to put their garden waste into the council. So I completely sterilised it out and actually put all my offcuts of foam, you know, within a certain size to actually use basically when it's in handy. Now, have I got some 5mm foam? Oh, shit. Right, okay, we're going to basically literally cut off a bit of 5mm here. So 5mm, I just want to make this sort of I don't want it sort of like to be too flimsy or too heavy. So there you go, that's one chain. So I need to do, let me see now, three chains. So that's 6 chains. I need to do another 4. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this as like a sort of a base plate thing. We're going to do some detail. We're going to do a lot of detail on this. The chains are, it's just basically, it hasn't been, the chains are not sort of being put onto paper, you know, when I'll sketch it. It's just, this has just come out of my brain. Seriously, it's just come out of my brain. You know, I can visualise what it's going to look like. That's the only drawback. So we're going to basically literally trim off a little bit there. Perfect. We're going to have to basically gravel this a bit, so let's look a little bit there. Just basically trim this off here. The rule of thumb, always have a very sharp blade in your knife. So we need to do slit there, because that's going to go there like so. Okay, so that's going to go there. But we need to actually literally burn a little recess in so the bacon gets glued. So that goes in there. Okay, so that's basically how we're going to do it. So we've got to do one more of this, right? So we've got to do another 4 more. Now we're going to do a lot. There's going to be a lot of detail, a lot of like beveling around this. So we don't. So with this one, we don't sort of put a slit through it. We basically do it that, then like that. Right. So we have to glue these back up again. Right, but we have to put every individual one in warbler. So of course that will go in, and we're basically going to literally do a little diagonal cut across there, across there and actually recess them in. There you go. So like the point. Okay. So this one's going to have like decoration on this, right? Basically, I'll remind you, put yourself a little bit of a recess in there with the wood burning tool, so I know that's the bottom one. It's going to have like a sort of a sort of a spiky thing on the bottom, right? To make it very, very forsaken. I just need to trim these up a bit. To make it literally arse. So they're going to go like that, but the thing is they're going to be recessed into the spike and refabricated. Right, let's just go to like this one again. We're going to get another 3 more. Try to use as much as like surface area of like this foam as possible without wasting it. I could use a thinner material, but I think I want to have some strength and lightness. So, there's chains on the pauldrons you see as well, but the thing is they are very, very well fierce. So when you're actually doing a sort of a centerpiece, you don't want to sort of go in it sort of like guns blazing, because you want to basically keep it shaped. So I'm basically literally taking my time on this, basically get like a perfect one. So one more. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And having a belt sander is a godsend, particularly when you're doing massive detail. I mean, you know, all these people, all these girls, cosplayers who do Lady Deathwing, they have to do all those rocks, right? I take my hat off to you guys. You know, sitting there, you know, I mean, sitting there getting them all done. You know, loads of warbler. You know, even using plastic foam as the dragon's horns, and then putting LEDs in them. Top girls. You know, you got my respect. Totally. I'm not trying to better myself. Because if I've got a skill, you know, I said 2018, 2017, I didn't have a clue what the fuck I was doing. Seriously, I just got on with it. So that goes right. That goes at the bottom there. So that's basically we're going to basically mark this one. This is going to be like the third chain with a little bit of mark on the wood burning tool. So that one goes in there. I bet it smells like bloody barbecue. That does that fun. If I need be, I'll basically literally dig these out just a fraction. So I'm going to literally dig these out a bit. I want to get through some of this space literally. That one's okay, that's the bottom. And that one's okay, that was okay. So that goes in there. That goes in there. So, that's the bottom. That one goes in there. A little bit smaller than the little one. That goes at the top. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. So what we might do is maybe glue this, level this a bit more so we get some sort of like detail in them. Right? Just now if I could take something out of it so I don't make it burn myself there. Let wood burning saw out. Right, Dremel time. Okay, we're done here. Right, let's go and get the hot air gun. So these are the bottom ones, these are the middle, and these are... So we're going to basically literally snip off just a little bit of a bevel there on the top one, because that can actually go, see that can go like that. So we can actually burn those things. That's how it's going to look like. So I'm just doing a dry fit first before I even commit myself to actually gluing these on. But I'm not going to glue them on yet, because I need to actually do a bit more on them, and that's basically clad the whole lot with warbler, so they're actually going to withstand some. So they go on there, you see, like so. So there you go. So that's what we've done so far, folks. We're going to basically continue tomorrow. Now it's I've been live for about 2 hours 40 minutes so far, and I need to go and get some dinner. It is now 2 minutes to 5 UK time. Be right back. Let's go grab myself, basically have a rest for this, and basically go try and get some stuff done. So next stage is actually covered in with warbler. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start covering these two with warbler and then fixing them onto there. So I'm going to get these out of the way first. I might do that tomorrow actually. So I'm going to have to hit the road, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be on